Did you know 25% of payroll mistakes are due to confidentiality breaches? In this video, we'll uncover the top 5 Paymaster interview questions with impactful example answers. Stick around as we discuss how to handle sensitive payroll data confidentially in question number 3. Let's dive into a critical question for Paymaster candidates. Describe a time when you identified a payroll discrepancy. How did you resolve it? Interviewers ask this to gauge your attention to detail and problem-solving skills in handling sensitive financial issues. When addressing this question, consider these strategies. First, specify the financial impact of the discrepancy and its potential consequences. This shows you understand the significance of accuracy in payroll. Next, detail your investigative steps and how you ensured accuracy in your findings, which demonstrates thoroughness. Finally, mention proactive measures you implemented to prevent recurrence, showcasing your commitment to continuous improvement. Here's what a strong answer sounds like.
I once noticed a recurring discrepancy in overtime calculations that was affecting our monthly payroll. I thoroughly reviewed the time logs and cross-checked them with payroll records to identify the source of the error. I then collaborated with the IT department to update the payroll software settings, ensuring accurate calculations in the future. As a result, we corrected the payroll for affected employees and established a regular audit procedure to catch similar issues early on.
Attention to detail can make or break payroll. Let's explore this crucial skill. Let's explore a question interviewers love to ask. Give an example of how your attention to detail helped you in your previous Paymaster role. They're looking for evidence that you can catch errors before they impact the business, which is a critical skill for a Paymaster. To really make your answer stand out, consider these tips. First, highlight a specific payroll error you caught and fixed before it became an issue. This shows proactive problem solving. Next, make sure you quantify the impact of your attention to detail, like how you prevented significant financial loss. And finally, if you received any recognition for your work, such as an internal award or positive feedback from management, be sure to mention it. Let's see how these tips come together in a strong answer.
In my previous role as a Paymaster, I once noticed a discrepancy in the payroll calculations where employee overtime was not being processed correctly. I immediately investigated and found a bug in the system that affected dozens of employees, potentially resulting in a $20,000 error. I collaborated with the IT team to resolve the issue before payroll was finalized. As a result, I not only prevented financial loss, but also received praise from my manager for my diligence and attention to detail.
Now here it is, the question we warned you about. Let's dive into confidentiality. Let's dive into a critical aspect of the Paymaster role, confidentiality. When you're asked, tell me about a time you had to ensure confidentiality while handling payroll information, the interviewer wants to see your commitment to safeguarding sensitive data. It's about demonstrating your understanding of security protocols and your trustworthiness in handling confidential materials. For a standout answer, start by using industry terminology such as data encryption or access controls to clearly demonstrate your expertise. Then, describe a specific policy or tool you implemented to protect information, which shows your proactive approach. Lastly, mention a positive outcome like improved trust or compliance to highlight the impact of your actions. Let me show you how to put this together.
At my previous company, we were transitioning to a new payroll system. I identified that our existing protocols for data protection were inadequate, especially during the data migration process. To ensure confidentiality, I implemented advanced data encryption and established strict access controls, allowing only essential personnel to view sensitive information. This action not only safeguarded employee data, but also increased compliance with industry standards, ultimately boosting employee trust in the payroll department.
Great job! You're halfway through and have tackled some tough questions. Let's keep the momentum going for the rest. You're learning the questions, but knowing them isn't enough. Mock Interview Pro builds a Paymaster preparation plan. You practice answering out loud, get real feedback, and sit through a mock interview that feels like the real thing. Link in the description. You've reached the tricky part. Let's talk about fixing those pesky recurring payroll errors. Let's dive into a challenge you might face as a Paymaster. How would you address a recurring error in payroll data from HR? Interviewers ask this to gauge your problem-solving skills, your ability to collaborate across departments, and your commitment to data accuracy. To make a great impression, consider these insights. First, pinpoint the error's impact by quantifying how the incorrect data affects payroll accuracy. Numbers stick in hiring managers' minds. Second, frame your approach as a partnership. Emphasize collaboration, not blame, to foster a positive working relationship with HR. And finally, propose process improvements with specific actionable steps to prevent future errors. demonstrating your proactive approach to problem solving. Let's see how this can be effectively communicated in an interview.
I once discovered that a recurring error in our payroll data led to discrepancies in employee bonuses. I calculated that this error affected around 5% of our quarterly bonus allocations. I scheduled a meeting with the HR team to discuss my findings and suggested setting up a shared verification checklist to catch errors early. This collaboration improved our data accuracy by 95% within the next quarter, ensuring employees received the correct bonuses on time.
When paychecks are questioned, how do you respond? Time to find out. Let's dive into a question that's crucial for a paymaster role. If an employee questions their paycheck accuracy, how would you handle the situation? Interviewers ask this to gauge your problem-solving skills and your ability to handle sensitive financial matters with professionalism. To craft a compelling answer, start by acknowledging the concern promptly to build trust. Then, provide a clear, step-by-step explanation of your investigation process so the employee understands how you operate. Finally, share how you ensure the same error doesn't happen again, demonstrating your commitment to continuous improvement. Let me show you how to put this together.
When an employee came to me about a discrepancy in their paycheck, I first thanked them for bringing it to my attention and assured them I would look into it immediately. I reviewed their pay stub, cross-referenced it with recorded hours and deductions, and found a mistake in the overtime calculation. I explained my findings to the employee and outlined the correction process, which included updating their records and ensuring the corrected amount would be in their next paycheck. I also revised our review protocol to prevent similar errors in the future.
Your interview is coming. Stop preparing alone. Mock Interview Pro builds a Paymaster preparation plan that adjusts to your timeline. Even if your interview is this week, it focuses on what matters most. Targeted practice, AI feedback, and a live mock interview so you walk in calm and clear. Start your preparation plan now. Link in the description. In this video, you learned how to tackle payroll discrepancies, leverage attention to detail, maintain confidentiality, address recurring errors, and handle paycheck inquiries. Remember, your expertise in these areas is key to shining in your Paymaster interview. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more insights. You've got this.